This is Psalms chapter 6 and verse 8 in the NLT. Go thy way, all you who do evil, for Yahawah has heard my weeping. Yahawah has heard my plea. Yahawah will answer my prayer. May all my enemies be disgraced and terrified. May they suddenly turn back in shame. Call Halal, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, teaching this word and believing this word, Lord willing as a whole, that they continue to move in sound doctrine and in the same spirit. Shalom to the Akwat Yom, believers of his faith and his truth. Lord willing that they continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in this truth. This lesson is about a plea for mercy. Lord willing, we are of that number Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai has mercy on. But what is he going to do to the wicked? Right? And literally, you know, if you're not moving according to the ways or the will of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, your time is almost up. Your time is almost up. This is Psalms chapter 6, verse 8 to 10. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for Yahawah have heard the voice of my weeping. Yahawah have heard my supplication. Yahawah will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. Right? So again, the same thing the Lord said in Matthew the 7th chapter, where he said, actually, let me just get that real quick. This is Matthew the 7th chapter, verse 23. It says, I'll start at verse 22. It says, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Right? How would it feel if the Lord said that to you, man? I don't know you, man. This is why we want to make sure that we doing things that's worthy in the eyes of the Lord. We doing things that's pleasing unto him. You know what? Let me get this other side precept that just came to mind in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, in verse 16. It says, they that fear Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai will seek that which is well pleasing unto them, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. Right? So those that truly fear, have a reverence, terrified of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, is going to do things that's well pleasing unto the Lord, man. Right? That time is almost coming. Right? You should be looking with your eyes, observing in the spirit, having discernment. You know, some days I might not be as fire as I was the other day, but is my thought still thinking on, wait, what did the Lord do for us? What's about to happen? Right? Because you want to, of course, just like as a child, you want to make sure you in good behavior when it comes to your father or your mother. So this should be the same attribute we should have with the Heavenly Father, right? So again, the workers of iniquity, wait, depart from me. Hey, if Yahawah should feel the same way, we should be feeling the same way too, right? Of course, we in a wicked world. This is why men and even women, you want to be around those that actually believe in the Lord, you know? Like Luke 13:27, saying the same thing as Matthew 7:23. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence ye are. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity. How would it feel if the Lord said that to you? Right? This is Job chapter 21 in verse 30. It says that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Right? And it's plain. Some people the Lord is preserving for destruction, man. There's some wicked men or women that need to be put to death right now. But the Lord is preserving them for the missiles, or preserving them for the famine. Right? Yahawah Shem Shai has a great way of doing things, man. Right? So Yahawah by Shem Shai hears prayers and supplications from the righteous. Right? Let's get Psalms 34. This is Psalms 34 in verse 17. This is what it reads. It says, the righteous cry, and Yahawah heareth, and believeth them out of all their trouble, or delivered them out of all their troubles. The Lord is hearing the righteous. He's going to deliver them out their troubles. Hold on, I want to get a counter precept for that. Because I know, when we reading these precepts, want to make sure that we believe when we're praying, man. You want to believe right now. When we get in that time, you don't want to doubt. Right? This is 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, in verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God. Right? Work on that doubt, that doubting mindset that we have, or that you have. Right? And if it ever comes, you want to rebuke it in the name of Yahawah Shem Yahushai. Right? Back to Psalms 34. I'm going to read 17 again. It says, the righteous cry, and Yahawah heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Yahawah is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit, a poor spirit. Right? That's Matthew the 5th chapter. Right? Hold on. Let me get it. Matthew the 5th chapter. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Being poor in spirit is the independence. Being in this thing. I can't be in this thing without Yahawah Shai. Like reassurance. Right? I need the mediator. Job 9 and 32 to 35. I need a mediator. We need Yahawah Shai. I need Yahawah Shai. Right? We can tell we need Yahawah Shai because how did you get in this truth? Right? Yahawah Shai said, I have chosen you. You didn't choose me. So when we look at who the elect is, or who trying to be the elect, they were called in this. They were called in this thing. So those that's getting called in this thing, they're going to be poor in spirit. Right? I'm poor without Yahawah Shai, man. We depend on him. Literally. Right? Psalms 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahawah delivereth him out of them all. Right? And of course, we have little afflictions that we deal with, but the Lord always finds a way for us to come out of it. Right? Even if brothers is dealing with problems financially, the Lord gives them a comfort in the spirit, where as long as we got our daily bread, in the world, man, brothers will be stressed out. They ain't got that. We don't got this. I don't got that. But when you come in his faith, it is what it is. But if we're able to get by, pay for this, pay for that, right? Sometimes you might not be able to get this, and you got to put your bread for that, And then watch when the famine of the word, the MOTB, the hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to do miraculous things. Psalms 106, verse 7, KJV NOT, the Israelites wasn't impressed by the miracles that Yahawah by Shem Shai was doing. Right now, you got to believe in the things the Lord is already doing now. So when he do these other things, these great things in the future, especially through the men of the Lord having spiritual powers, right? You wanna hold on to your faith, right? So Psalms 34 verse 20, he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken, right? That even goes into going into Yahawah Shai too, because when he was on the cross, they broke the bones or the legs of the men that died on the cross, but they didn't break Yahawah Shai's bones. Evil shall slay the wicked. You can go to Salaki, just for that verse we just read, we can go to John 19, verse 33, and I believe 36. But verse 21, it says, Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. Right? Starting with Esau and the 2/3, those that hate the righteous, they're going to be desolate. They're going to be destroyed with this place, Babylon. Right? And Israel and other places, man. And those that are, because it's really the elites. The elites, right? Their kingdom is going to be desolate. Right? As soon as that realization hit them, they're going to be in captive, man. Right? It says, Yahawah redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. Right? Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. Right? Because we got to put our trust in the Lord, so that, Lord willing, Yahawah Shem Shai will allow us to understand his truth. This is what's going. We're going to have confirmation. We're going to be comfort in these certain times. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. And we understand. Well, let me just show who the saints is real quick. Let's get Psalms 50 and 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for the Most High is judge himself. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy power. Right? The saints is the Israelites. Hold on, let's get another one. Psalms 48 verse 14. It says, for this power is our power forever and ever, and he will be our guide. Hold on, that's not the one I want. Salaki. It's I think it's Psalms 148. Let's get Psalms 148. That's not the one I wanted. Psalms 148 verse 14. It says, he also exalted the horn of his people. Who's that horn? Right? Yahawah Shai is that horn that he's about to exalt. Right? Yahawah Shai is that horn he's going to exalt. Right? To keep going, it says, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye Yahawah. Right? In the NLT, Psalms 148 verse 14, he has made his people strong, honoring his faithful ones. The people of Israel who are close to him, praise Yahawah. Right? So the saints is the Israelites. And it says the elect. The elect is the best of its kind, or the best of their class. So the elect that gets saved on this side is the best, the best out of all the Israelites. Right? They're the best out of all. When you put all the Israelites together, when the 2/3 destroyed, those are the best. Then you have the 144,000, which is the best of their class or their kind, which is men. The 144,000, they're the best men, right? Because then you're going to have the other men that's in part of the great multitude, right? So now, man, that got me excited. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 145. Lord willing, we are of that number. Lord willing, man. You should really be desiring to be of that number, man. This is Psalms 145, verse 19. And it reads, it says, I'll start at verse 17. It says, Yahawah is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his works. Yahawah is nigh unto them that call upon him. Right? And those that's calling upon him is saying Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? To all that call upon him in truth, right? He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. Right? Whatever is your heart desire, the Lord is going to fulfill that. Right? He also will hear their cry and will save them. Right? When you go to Ezekiel 9 and 4, right? Who's crying? Right? It's first the men of the Lord. Right? Teaching, brothers is praying before they do a lesson. Yahawah Shema Shai, whatever lesson it is, even if it's in the law, if it's in the Psalms, if it's a parable, if it's a dark saying, if I'm going into you, if I'm going into the apostles, please allow it to be edifying, right? And then, of course, you see most of us brothers at the end of a lesson, we want to give the Lord all praises, man, right? Because we want the things that's in these scriptures to be fulfilled, right? It says, Yahawah preserveth all them that love him, right? 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. Love is a deed, an action, and truth. But all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak the praise of Yahawah, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. And what is his holy name that is set apart? Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You're going to get 1 John chapter 5 in verse 14. And it reads, I'll start at verse 13. These things have I written unto you that believe on the name of the Son of the Most High. So what's the name of Yahweh Shai? His name means he saves, he deliver. In Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, that ye may know that ye have eternal life, and that ye may believe on the name of the Son of the Most High. Right? Coming in this thing, you got to believe in the name of the Son. Right? And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. Even in James 1 and 5, if any one of us lack wisdom, ask the Lord and he'll give it liberally. He'll give it freely. That's fire. He'll give it freely. But we know Jeremiah 17 and 10, the Lord searched the hearts and tried the reins and give to every man according to his ways. And we can tell when we look at Paul said it in 1 Timothy 1 and 12, the Lord found me faithful and he enabled me and put me in the ministry. So that means the Lord knew Paul's heart, right? So let's go to Isaiah 65. It's Isaiah 65 in verse 24. It says, it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Right? So before you call on the Lord, he's already answering you, man. Right? While you speaking, he hear you. But before you even call, he's already here. So that means he already searching your heart. He know what you want. The Lord hears the prayers of the righteous. And guess what? When you go to Romans, the 8th chapter, even your spirit make intercession for you. Come on, man. Call on Yahawah by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's get Psalms 35. Psalms 35 in verse 4. It says, let them be confounded, confused, and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt, right? This is the shame of the enemies, right? And they're going to be vexed suddenly, right? We got enemies in our own nation. And of course, you got enemies of the other nations, starting with Esau. So just, we want to point one straight to Esau. You go to Baruch, the 4th chapter, in verse 31. This Baruch 4 and 31. It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Right? Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Right? That's Babylon. But if we was to go direct to a people, that would be Esau. That would be totally Esau. Right? I'm about to read this. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem. even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Right? What did they do? They rejoiced at our fall, man. Right? They rejoiced at our fall. You're going to be miserable. And this is what we lead into. Verse 13, it says, thou shouldest not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity, right? Especially when Babylon was coming against us, right? They went into our land, man, doing extra shit. But then later on in the future, right, like in the time of the Renaissance, right, they overtook our land. And when we fast forward to the time we are now, you got two heathens, Edomites, Ishmael or Palestinians, ruling over that land, fighting over a land that's not theirs, right? But that's another consequence for the children of Israel. Verse 14, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress, right? Esau took the refugees they found in the land of Israel after Babylon overtook it and brought them to Babylon. Said, oh, it was some refugees that were left behind. You know, payback is coming, right? Let's go back to Psalms. We're going to read Psalms 40 and 14. It says, let them be ashamed and confounded, confused together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be driven backward and put to shame that wish me evil. Let them be desolate for a reward of their shame that say unto me, ha ha. Right? And you got to think, those that seeking our soul is those that's about to push that MOTB. And then again, we can even point this to Jake, because in a minute, right, it's about to be a persecution of this teaching, right? Then you might have one, like with the MOTB, some of your family members or your foes that know you, they'll even try to point authorities to your direction. You never know if they looking for Hebrew Israelites. Hey, do you know anybody that was teaching that God's chosen people is this and this and that? You never know what they're gonna do. But eventually the left-hand spirit is going to be on some of our families and our friends. Jacob Trouble is about to be one of the best crazy scenes that ever been on the earth. Right? This is Psalms chapter 70 in verse 2. Also that 1. Make haste, O power, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Yahawah. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Right? And this, we should add this in our prayer. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Right? We should be praying that our enemies, especially those of our own nation, be put to shame and confounded, confused. Right? In the worst case, you know, you want to have a desire that Yahawah Shema Shai put these people in derision. Put them in a confused state. I want Yahawah Shema Shai to take their manning, man, their money. I want the Lord to bring chaos, sorrow, hurt, pain, right? Especially for you, Jake. You don't understand what's going on. Most Jake is distracted and enjoying the abundance of this life, and really, the Lord didn't wake him up, man. This Psalms 41 verse 11, starting at verse 10. But thou, O Yahawah, be merciful unto me. Raise me up, that I may requite them. By this I know that thou favorest me, because my enemies doeth not triumph over me. Right? The Lord has favor over who? His elect. Right? Yahawah Shema Shai has favor over his elect. I think that's not the one I wanted. Salaki family. I guess I'm getting a little excited. It's Isaiah 41 verse 11. Is this the one we wanted? Isaiah 41:11, it says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed, confounded, they shall be as nothing. They that strive with thee shall perish. Right? The main one striving against us is Esau and the other nations. Starting with Esau. Right? There's another one I wanted to get. They strive against us. Wait. Let me get this real quick. I think it's Isaiah 19 I want. Isaiah 19, I believe, verse 16. It says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahawah of hosts, which he's shaking over it. Right? In Egypt as in the place. Babylon. Right? Great Babylon the Great. Right? Is going to be as a woman. It's going to be weak. When all chaos, nobody paying attention to law, order, right? Everything is going to be in shambles. It's going to be weak as a woman and wounded. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahawah. Right? Jacob's trouble is the hand of the Lord. The MOTB, people are going to bump up against this government system. Right? So again, this is basically a plea for mercy from Yahawah B'Hashem Yahushai. You want the Lord to keep you in his way, right? Like, let me get this classic in Exodus, right? The angel, that messenger was Yahushai. What is it? Exodus 23. This is Exodus chapter 23, verse 20. It says, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Right? That angel is Yahushai. Yahushai is going to keep us in the way of Yahawah. Right? Let's get the classic that actually line with this. St. John 14:6. Yahushai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Yahushai is the way. He's going to be the one that keep us in the way. St. John 12, verse 48. He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words, have one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting, whatsoever I speak. Therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. And everything that Yahushua speak, we supposed to obey, man. Right? Loving your neighbor or loving your brother as you love yourself. Loving the Lord with all your heart and all your might. Right? And especially if you have the ability of teaching, we supposed to feed the sheep. Right? Feed the flock, man. Feed the lambs. Right? What he told Peter, feed my lamb, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. He had to tell him 3 times. Right? We have work to do. Right? Let me get I'm about to close. This is 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, verse 7. Right? This is a plea for mercy. You getting beamed up is mercy. You getting by and getting through in Jacob's trouble is mercy. The Lord not having you take that MOTB, is mercy. Right? Right? This 2nd Ezra 9:7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Those that's doing the work as in the law and the work of a apostle, a prophet, an evangelist, a teacher of his word, feeding the sheep, building them up, molding them to being daughters of Zion, right? Because really, this is not of us. Yeah, you want Yahawah B'Hashem Yahushai to move you as a motion, right? What is that? Wisdom of Solomon, right? Got to truly believe is the spirit of the Lord in you, right? This Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 24, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by the reason of her pureness. I want to be a moving motion. I want to stay busy. I want to be occupied in this work, right? It feels good to edify and feed the sheep. Even if it's sheep that's mocking or coming against it. Oh no, Jesus is not real. It feels good to be doing this work, right? Because if I wasn't doing this work, I would be distracted. I would be seeking my pleasure. but it's about pleasing the Lord. It's sometimes, brothers, we probably did some reading. You probably wasn't meditating on a lesson, and you just get up and say, man, I just want to do a lesson. But it's the things that you might know in scriptures that you're going to bring out, right? Because we want to edify the sheep. We want to terrify the sheep. We want to put the fear of the Lord. I can't physically put it in you, but spiritually doing the lesson. And if you're watching, if you are of that faith, you're going to take heed to what's being said. You don't want to be a person where the Lord says you're a worker of iniquity, flee away from me. So work that good work. So then later on, the Lord will say, faithful servant, right? Let's go to this one, right? Numbers 13, wait, is it 13, 16? I could be wrong. Hold on, I gotta find it. Salaki. Salaki family, just bear with me. Okay, I got a new precept. I think is it Hebrews 5 and 3? I mean 3 and 5. I think, no, it's Numbers 12 and 7. Salaki. But I'm gonna read the Hebrew one, because they just referencing what was said in the Old Testament. Right? So this is Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, and Moses verily was faithful in all his house, as a servant for a testimony of those things which were to be spoken after. Moses was faithful. This is Numbers 12 and 7. It says, my faithful servant, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house, right? And when we look at this word faithful, it means a supporter of the door. Moses supported Yahawah. He spoke of him. He told the Israelites, the Lord's going to raise up a prophet just like me in the midst of you. Hear ye him, right? Let's get this in Acts 3 and 22. Again, we need Yahawah. We need Yahawah. We need Yahawah. We got Yahawah. We need to keep Yahawah. Remain in Yahawah. Right? The Lord, Yahawah, did us a favor. Right? This is Acts chapter 3 verse 22. For Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall Yahawah Shemashai your power raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things, whatsoever he shall say unto you. Right? We supposed to listen. And that prophet is Yahawah, man. Yahawah, it's him. He did something that nobody else can do for us. He laid down his life for us. Truly laid down his life for his friends. His true friends is really the elect. In that time, it was the believers in that time, the disciples and so on, right? Who he called his friends. But you got to think, Yahawah is doing, he's thinking of the end game. Because the end is declared from the beginning. And the Lord is going to do all his counsel. And he's going to have pleasure doing it. So in the later end, the elect, the ones that are the best of its class and kind, those are his true friends. True friends are going to believe, you know. So Lord willing, this is edifying and straight to the point. Again, this is a plea for mercy, you know. And Lord willing, we can continue to call on Yahawah Hashem Yahushai to not individual. Oh, don't make me like Maurice. No, don't make me like the 2/3. Please, Yahawah Hashem Yahushai, don't take your spirit away from me. Don't remove your gift of faith from me. Don't move that humble or lowly spirit within me. In your name, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Akakwadash, the Wadi Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, for this edifying lesson. Lord willing, we can take heed to it. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing, as a whole, y'all can continue in sound doctrine and in the same spirit. And shalom to the Akwat Yom, believers of this faith and this truth. Continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom, shalom, abba, abba.